Michael Sullivan Smith, bringing you some pages from the History Atlas of Saugerties.
In this program, we'll get to know what almost every landowner in Saugerties has in common: the Kingston Commons. The Mid-Hudson region, known as the Esopus in Dutch times, was settled after 1651. Under English rule, a deed was granted in 1687 to the Esopus, making nearly every bit of this land, running 18 miles along the Hudson and 6 miles back to the mountains, Kingston. This unique grant made the land of the Esopus into a commons, communally owned by what it called the freeholders and commonality of the town of Kingston, and it gave them the right to govern these commons as the Corporation of Kingston. Title to over 80% of land in Saugerties originates with deeds granted from the trustees of this Corporation of Kingston. This program will examine what the Kingston Commons are, how Saugerties grew out of Kingston, and what that means to you. In 1687, the first generations of our founding families were living mainly where the city of Kingston is today. They all shared the common lands of the Corporation of Kingston, north and south of Kingston's village center, and communally grazed their cattle, grew their grain, and harvested their timber, firewood, and building stones, and shared whatever else the land had to offer. Toward the beginning of the 18th century, some began to venture out from the protection of Kingston's village to lease land from the Corporation of Kingston and the Commons and live on farmsteads there. As the land became settled, some moved north of Kingston's Commons into Albany County. Kingston's grant was totally in Ulster County, with its north border at Albany County. The boundary line between Ulster and Albany counties was then a line through the present village of Saugerties. All land in what is now Saugerties, north of a line running westward from the village through Veteran, was then in Albany County. By the 1720s, these lands to the north were being settled by the families of the 1710 Palatine immigration. These families associated themselves with Kingston after 1732, when the Catspan Church was organized. The Catspan Church shared a minister with Kingston's Dutch Reformed Church. Catspan's congregation, through this association, became listed as freeholders in Kingston and then served in its militia. This put this area of what would later be the northern part of Saugerties under Kingston's influence. After the Revolution, the state joined all Kingston's lands together into a town, including the population of the lands around Catspan. Catskill was made a town at the same time, and in 1801, when Greene County was formed, divided from Albany County, its southern border was made at where the town of Catskill and the town of Kingston met. The northern Catspan lands of the town of Kingston thus fell into Ulster County. The Corporation of Kingston then made claim to them by its rights to all lands to the north bounds of Ulster County, ignoring the original 1687 Albany County borderline of its grant. With this claim, in 1803, the Corporation of Kingston did a survey and divided all its land into what would come to be called Kingston Commons lots to sell its commons to the citizens of Kingston. In 1811, the northernmost group of these Kingston Commons lots was separated from the town of Kingston, and the town of Saugerties was born.